Hello guys, my name is Furu, South African content creator based in the Middle East. Today I just want to talk about something very important. I just felt like I needed to share some of the information. So I am originally from South Africa, worked in the Middle East as a registered nurse. So today we are just going to be talking about the process. And before we do that, guys, please subscribe to my channel. Please like, comment. Your comments will definitely be highly appreciated on where I can improve. And if you have any other question, don't hesitate to contact me or DM me in all my social media platforms. So guys, today I just want to talk about the steps for registered nurses who are interested in working abroad, specifically in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, because that's where I worked most of my time. So now I just wanted to break down some of the steps that you have to follow if you are thinking of coming this side. So first thing first, and guys, sorry, I'm going to be looking down as I have put down some of the points so that I don't forget anything. So don't mind that. So the first thing that you do, you find an agent. Find an agent that you know they will be guiding you through all the steps, through all the processes. So the two agents that I am more familiar with is Thymic Connection. That's the one that I used to come to the Middle East. And another one is Symbiosis. I've met quite a number of nurses who came to the Saudi Arabia via Symbiosis as well. And from their experience, they say it's also good. So I'm going to be talking more about Thymic because that's the one that I used. So the first thing first, it's the agent. You find an agent, you send your CV to them, and then once you do that, they are very easily accessible. You can either find them on their Facebook or email. They respond ASAP. They don't waste any time. So once you do that, they will send you back a template because there's a way how they want their CV to be. So they will send you a template and you will just put down your CV according to the way they want it. And once you are done with that, with your agent, one important thing that I just want to remind you guys is make sure you have a valid passport. If not, as soon as you find an agent, start the process of a passport because obviously you don't want to be doing all these things and you find that, you know, your passport is not ready or it has expired. So just make sure you have a valid South African passport for those that are coming from South Africa. And once you're done, that's your CV, that's your passport. So you start collecting all your documents. For instance, your bachelor or diploma degree, and you must also make sure that your South African Nursing Council is updated. That means they need the current one just to ensure that you are still registered under South African Nursing Council. Okay, once that is done, then your agency will contact you. You will start interview. So interviews, there's two steps that you can do interview. With mine, I did it one-on-one. The Saudi staff flew all the way to South Africa, and I did my interview in Johannesburg. It was in Sandton then. It's been some years since I've been around here, so maybe things have changed. And another way is through Skype, so they can communicate with you and then inform you that we will be doing an interview. Just make sure you are ready. Be ready and have as much information regarding your unit. And should they ask you, if we take you, are you willing to change departments? Answer should always be yes, because that goes to show that you are serious about finding a job, you are serious about growing. And that's what I did. I mean, when I came in Saudi, I was in a different department. A year later, I was working elsewhere from scratch. I was in a different department which I didn't know anything about. I was in a, I got to learn scrubbing in Saudi Arabia. So that's how much I was willing to grow in my career, and it had helped me. Okay, so that's your interview. So after that, that's when the process starts. That's where all your process of coming to Saudi Arabia start. So now there's things that you need to gather. So we'll start with your academic transcript. Academic transcript, you can either obtain it from the university or from South African Nursing Council. So academic transcript, if I can break it down for you, it's just your breakdown of your theory hours and your practical hours. So if you do it with South African Nursing Council, just be willing to pay. But at the university or your wherever where you obtained your nursing degree or diploma, you can also get it. You don't have to pay. But with South African Nursing Council, there's a payment. And one thing that I must just warn you, it takes time to get the transcript. So I think even if before you think of doing your application, just make sure you have your transcript ready so that it does not delay. With mine, it took a while. So that is your academic transcript. So one more thing that you have to obtain is your certificates of service. So certificates of service is just your employment. Everywhere that you have worked, you need to get your employment certificate. It must be stamped. You can either contact them by email wherever you've worked, or you can go straight there. Some of the hospitals, like I have worked in some of the government hospitals, so I had to go straight and obtain my employment certificate from them. So it's basically all the places that you've worked. So these are some of the things that you can gather even if you have not thought of doing your application. Just make sure you have all your certificate, employment certificates of all the areas that you've worked. And another important thing is your referral letters. I would advise people when they resign, just get a referral letter. Just have it with you, because sometimes it's very difficult to get the referral letters. You find that some of the hospital that you've worked, the manager has resigned, it's new staff, so it's very difficult to get it. So my advice would be, when you resign, make sure you at least have a referral letter from your manager, so that in case you decide you want to apply later on, you have it. Unlike now, you have to look for this manager who has now worked in other places or has changed jobs or whatever the case may be. So that's your certificate of service and referral letters. So yes, guys, your police clearance. Police clearance takes time. It's a lengthy process. So I think from my advice is that if you have decided that you want to now start the process, or even just to think about, I might go overseas, even if you're not ready, just have your police clearance with you so that you do not delay. You do not delay yourself, because this process can take some time. During my time, it was actually taking time. I think it probably took 6 to 8 months with the whole thing. Okay, so once you have your police clearance, one other thing that I will just go back to is during your interview, once you've signed your contract, that means you have accepted your offer. You have seen it that, okay, I think I am going to make something compared to what I'm getting in South Africa. That's when you can start gathering all this information, because your agency will be on you. They will be needing all these things as soon as possible. Hence, I'm advising for all those nurses who are thinking or considering that one day they will want to move abroad, work outside South Africa. So just for your own sake, just make sure you have all these things ready. Then when you decide that now I'm ready to do the application, when they say police clearance, you have it. When they say transcript, you have it. And then it doesn't delay anything. Okay, so once you are done with that, as time goes, now there's a thing called Prometric exam. So yes, you do write an exam when you come to the Middle East. It's called Prometric. So Prometric exam, it's just a professional classification. So how the professional classification goes here in Saudi, you have two classification. You have nursing specialist and nursing technician. So the difference between the two is nursing specialist, those that have a degree, and the nursing technician is those who have a diploma certificate. However, for those with diploma, they can get a nursing specialist, same as those with a degree, but you'll just have to write again the exam. So during my time, Prometric was written while you were still in South Africa, but now things have changed. There are some people who are writing their Prometric when they arrive in Saudi, meaning that before your certificate, you are not allowed to work. It's the same as having your South African Nursing Council. Here it's a Saudi council as well. So you cannot work if you do not have your Prometric examination as yet. So people take it for granted that it's just an exam. You have to study. You have to be ready, because some people do go back because you failed. So you don't take it for granted that, okay, I know it could be. It's just make sure you are ready, because it's all different questions. Even with me, how I made it, I was just like, wow, okay. But I was prepared for it. I was definitely prepared. Back then, they used to do it while you're in South Africa, but now they are doing it when you are already in Saudi Arabia. So that's your Prometric exam. That one is just for classification for nursing specialist and nursing technician. So what happens in Saudi Arabia, nurses, you are divided in three. There's staff nurse 1, staff nurse 2, and staff nurse 3. So for all people coming from South Africa, whether you have a degree or a diploma, you are all considered as an SN1, staff nurse 1. So we don't have enrolled nurses, you don't have staff nurse, you don't have, it's only staff nurse 1, staff nurse 2, staff nurse 3. But everybody who is coming from South Africa, we are considered, our nursing standard is very good. We are all considered as staff nurse 1, regardless of your, whether you have a degree or you have a diploma. So once all is done, something that you need to get ready for is medicals. Medicals, one thing that you have to bear in mind, take care of yourself, because there are some conditions that if you have, the hospital will not be able to take you. You will not even be allowed to enter the country if you have other certain conditions. So please, 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 please take care of yourself. They are very strict country with rules and regulations that you all have to follow. So your medicals, you do it just as you are close to becoming to the Saudi. So you will do your medicals first in South Africa, and when you arrive in Saudi Arabia, there's still more medicals to be done again, a repetition of the ones that you did in South Africa and more. So they take their things quite serious. So for all nurses, look after yourself, take care of your body, and you're good to go. Okay, so once your medicals are done, you are very close to flying. You're very close to becoming to the Middle East. Then they will do the process of your work visa or permits. Once your permits and the work visa is done, then you will they will book you a flight to travel, and then from there your life in Saudi starts. So we've had quite a number of nurses from South Africa. After COVID, they've taken quite a lot of people from South Africa because that's how much they are valuing our South African nurses. So if you are thinking of moving abroad, or if you are even considering, please, 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 please go through all these things that I have mentioned to you. If I can just summarize, get your agent, your passport, your updated CV, the latest one, all your bachelor's degrees and diplomas and all other stuff that you have studied, the certificates, your current nursing license, the current one, not the previous one. You have to be registered. And your academic transcript, which is the one that takes long, your certificate of service and your reference letter, your police clearance, and then prepare for the Prometric examination, your medicals, then you are good to go. So for all those nurses who are thinking or considering, don't lose hope, because this process can take time. It can take time, and for some people, they lose hope when things are stuck. It was not smooth when we came here. Some of the things, it was a hassle to get them. But when you are determined, it is absolutely possible. So from my experience in the Middle East, what I can say is, for those, I know it's not easy, especially for us South Africans. We are very comfortable in our own country with the way that things are. But there is life out there. There is, you grow your career, you grow yourself, you basically, overall, you just grow. Financially, growth, emotionally. So I would advise all the nurses who are thinking of coming abroad to please, 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 please listen to this channel, subscribe, comment, like. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate. I mean, there's nothing wrong with sharing information. There is just so much, and most probably a lot has changed now. Things are much more easy. So, guys, don't give up. Don't give up. You will, it's possible. I mean, there are people who've been in this country for close to 15, 20 years. So if it's possible for them, it's also possible for you. It was possible for me. It's possible. So guys, once you arrive in Saudi Arabia, you will never be alone. You will never be left alone, because you'll be coming to a foreign country. Some of you, maybe it's probably your first time being outside the country. The hospital will never leave you alone. With my hospital, it's just that I cannot mention the name of the hospital. With my hospital, what they did, as soon as we landed in Saudi, in Riyadh, we had it was early in the morning, it was 3 a.m. We had South African people to welcome us. We felt very welcomed. We felt very much at home. They did not just leave you to be there by yourself, because there are so many things that you have to do when you arrive. Things like your SIM card, getting a SIM card, things like opening your banks. So there's always support from your people from your country, or it can be people from other country. But the thing is, they will always welcome you with love. They will direct you. You will never be alone. You will never be felt like, okay, what have I done? Because we get that it's always easy. It's not always easy when you're coming to this country. You've left your family back at home. You don't know how things are going to be, and many people have just been asking me, how do you survive? How did you survive for so many years being away from family? Yes, it's very hard, but it is definitely worth it. You will not be alone. Once you arrived in your hospital, they will have, it's called a buddy. A buddy is somebody that will be showing you around either the hospital, your HR paperwork, your medical. They will just be directing you. So you'll never feel alone. You'll never felt like, my God, what have I done? So guys, please support your South African sister. Grow this channel. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Let's help each other, guys. Thank you.